Welcome to the Stade Aimé Giral in Perpignan for match day 3 in this year's World Rugby Under-20 Championship. 2 matches are to be played here this evening. Later on, it'll be the Trans-Tasman clash between reigning champions New Zealand and near neighbours Australia. But coming up, it is the final pool match for Wales and Japan. There's a feel-good factor around the Stade Aimé Giral these days since the local team gained promotion back to the top table of French rugby. And both teams can be assured of both local and partisan support here at the home of Perpignan Rugby. 12 teams are divided into pools of 4, with the winner of each pool and the best placed second team progressing to the semi-finals. Reigning champions New Zealand hold pole position in Pool A, with Australia and Wales also vying to qualify. England are already assured of their place in the semi-finals, with both Argentina and Italy harbouring ambitions of their own of joining the 2017 finalists tonight in Béziers. And with 2 wins apiece, South Africa and France could see their ambitions of reaching the semi-finals realised or thwarted by a bonus point win or defeat in Narbonne, where the hosts will have home advantage. So coming up then, it's the Pool A clash between Wales and Japan here at the Bear Pit, the Stade Aimé Giral in Perpignan. Tonight, everyone wears pink. Players, officials, commentators, because it's Keep a Rugby Clean Day. Rugby is united in the commitment to maintain a level playing field. And all players at the Under-20 Championship have undertaken interactive anti-doping education as part of a tournament-wide programme to keep rugby clean. So that explains the T-shirts as a commitment to anti-doping, and look out for their messages of support via World Rugby's social media platforms. So let's have a look at the respective teams. Wales make no less than 10 changes for their final pool match, with Basham and Reffel retaining the shirts in the forward 8, where Chris Coleman, a tight head, gets his first start after 5 appearances off the bench. There's a first start also for Dewi Cross at left wing after his cameo appearance off the bench versus New Zealand on Sunday. Centre Thomas Wheeler makes his under-20 debut, with Nicholas moving out to 13 and Baldwin from outside centre to wing. Evans keeps the 15 shirt for the 3rd game in a row. And Japan, well, they have the shortest and lightest squad on average in the tournament. But we'll look to the technically astute front row of Ishida, Arai and Tsukiyama to lay the platform for another successful night at scrum time. It is no real surprise, therefore, that the junior or baby blossoms make only 2 changes to their lineup, both behind the scrum, where Fifita moves out to the wing, making room for the powerful Vakalahi, who comes in at outside centre this evening. So teams get ready behind the respective flags in the tunnel. The 2 captains await. Tommy Reffel on the left and Hisanobu Okayama on the right. Alongside me, Wyn Griffith, is former Scotland international scrum half Rory Lawson. Rory, this is your first taste this year of Under-20s rugby. Looking forward to this evening.
Very much so, Wyn. It's a fantastic tournament, and the number of graduates that have come through is nearing 600 now. It just shows the profile of this tournament, the opportunity for these youngsters to showcase themselves for further honours. And with the World Cup only 14 or 15 months away, who would bet against a couple of these guys making a late charge in positions? Important game tonight for both sides. Wales need a bonus point win to give them any hope of reaching the top tier of the competition this year, while for Japan it's a great opportunity to continue to build pride in their performance.
Well, it's a proud moment for all these young men to stand before their own national anthems, and there'll be a tear or 2 shed, I dare say. Good to see support for both these teams, friends, relatives, having made the long journey out to the south of France.
For the national anthems. Mesdames et messieurs, merci de vous lever pour les hymnes nationaux. Tout d'abord, en l'honneur de l'équipe du pays de Galles, in honor of the Wales team, land of my fathers.
So first then it'll be land of my fathers, Hen Wlad van Hadai.
Et maintenant, en l'honneur de l'équipe du Japon, in honor of the Japanese team, Kimi Gayo.
Kimi Gayo is the national anthem of Japan. So the formalities
Et voilà,
are over.
nous sommes partis dans ce match.
As we get ready for this opening match of the evening, well, Rory, you had a good look and a time to consider the teams. How have you seen these teams? What do you make of them?
I think from a Wales perspective, they'll look to enforce themselves upon this baby blossom side with physicality, but there's clear within the selections that they're looking to play high tempo as well. Within that structure, Tane Basham at number 8 is so important, and the guys pulling the strings behind, Harry Morgan at number 9 and Ben Thomas coming in at number 10 in place of Ben Jones, key operators.
What about the Japan side? And again, what about the young Fujiwara at scrum half? You'll be keeping a close eye on him, no doubt.
Yeah, very much so. Japan, they always like to play high tempo. You mentioned at the very top of the show, they are the shortest and the lightest side, so they have to play high tempo. And yes, Fujiwara at scrum half, so important. And I think you see Okayama, the captain, in the number 7 jersey, highlights everything that Japan stand for. He's a small man, only 5'6", 88 kilos, but it's his 3rd start of the tournament, and he will look to be everywhere around the field.
Our officiating team this evening is led by Italian Andrea Piardi, and he's accompanied by Egon Seconds on the far side and Jonathan Gasnier of France on the near side. So here we are then getting ready for the first match of the evening. Kai Evans kicks off for Wales, kicks deep into Japanese territory. It's taken cleanly, and we shouldn't be deceived by the fact that the Japanese are the lightest and perhaps the shortest side in the tournament. because very technically astute, especially at scrum time. Very well drilled at the set piece, Rory.
Very well drilled. As you touched on it, they pride themselves on their basics. They pride themselves on their effort and understanding of the game. And don't get me wrong, there are some big bruisers within that side. Asipeli Moala at number 8 is one of them. Vakalahi in the outside centre jersey as well. They're the key guys for the Japanese go forward.
Yeah, 3 from Tongan heritage. As we catch up there with Tain Basham, a very promising youngster for the Dragons and Wales. Wales late into the line out here. It's a first take by the number 5, Jack Pope, quickly into midfield, and the first touch for the newcomer, the debutant, Tian Thomas Wheeler, just 18 years of age. Referee waiting for advantage. Wales, a little neat kick over the top to test the Japanese defence, but they'll come back for the offence.
Yeah, and a nice set-piece move there. A set drive, Tain Basham bouncing out and hitting his midfielder, Tian Thomas Wheeler. There, good chop tackle though, getting him to ground, but tackle not rolling away. You actually see it was the captain, Hisanobu Okayama, who just didn't get out there quick enough for referee Andrea Piardi's liking.
Wales might have to rely on results elsewhere if they are to progress to the semi-finals. They're behind the 8 ball, so to speak, at the moment. They desperately need a win here, and they need to win well.
And a sign of intent from the get-go. Kai Evans going for the corner. Wales looking to make an early statement and get this try-scoring run that they dearly need tonight going.
Dewi Lake is the Welsh hooker. Finds his man.
Advantage in the air.
And taken in the air, so it's advantage Wales again. They can't get that rolling ball going immediately, but here they are. It's accuracy they're looking for here. 5 metres out from the Japanese try line. Harry Morgan is bellowing, barking the instructions, and still Wales move forward. Surely the first score has to come. 2.5 minutes of play, up to the try line, and over they go. But the referee, Piardi, is unsighted. This time perhaps.
Release!
But again, the ball carrier Basham is held up short of the line. Wales pounding away at the Japanese try line. This time perhaps it might come out. Ben Thomas, the outside half, is waiting, but he won't go far. To the loose head prop, Rhys Davis. The arms are in the air, but Japan have it. No advantage. So they'll come back for the original penalty.
I think Wales will be kicking themselves a little bit. There was a real opportunity there, and I think it might have been captain Tommy Reffel who was on the ball at the back, and maybe a touch of white line fever, going for the line when the men in front of him doing all the work just needed to get an extra foot over the line. But they'll get a second opportunity here. Again, intentions clear.
So Evans finds touch, and it's a 5-metre line-out, and again Wales late into the line-out. Will it be a shortened line-out, I wonder?
I'm surprised the referee doesn't hurry them along here a little bit. He's obviously waiting on hooker Dewi Lake.
So Lake this time goes to the back.
Sacking's good.
And again the line-out has been sacked.
Some more now.
Ball tucked under the armpits there somewhere. The 2 lock forwards, Ellis Jones and Pope in concert, driving on the angle towards the Japanese try line. It's been held up once. Harry Morgan has a quick look. Look out for a dash from the scrum half. Taken up again by Reffel, the captain, but still Japan hold the Welsh out. 2 metres short, they may well have turned it over. Great work if they have.
Hashimoto's nicked it, did very, very well.
Well, that's great work by the Japanese. Twice now they've thwarted Wales at the line-out and the drive. And Geraint Lewis, the interim Welsh coach, will be extremely disappointed with that effort.
Yeah, you can see all the work being done again at the front there. Again, brilliant stuff from Hashimoto. The big number 5 on the Japanese side, managing to steal, but it's momentary respite for the Baby Blossoms at the moment. Another opportunity.
Well, this time surely it has to go out to the backs, because Wales certainly do have dangerous backs.
In the 5.
Reffel, and in with him there is Chris Coleman, making his first start in the Welsh under-20s shirt. Ball tucked under his arm, driving forward, looking to make an impression. But again, look at the strength being shown there by Rento Tsukayama, the Japanese tight head prop Lewis Ellis-Jones goes in trying to release the ball, but once again Wales are denied as Japan hold up the ball carrier, and all thanks to the effort from the student Renta Tsukayama.
I tell you what, there are going to be 6 Welsh under-20s players in jerseys 10 to 15 who are going to be wondering why on earth they're not getting the ball there. Japanese defence holding firm. It did look like Wales were maybe going to get the upper hand in the pack in that maul, but for the third occasion the Baby Blossoms have managed to hold them out, and that will hugely frustrate the guys behind that maul, albeit you always, as a back, you always want to get the ball on the front foot, and the Baby Blossoms managed to contain them all, and had they got it, the likelihood is Wales would have just had to hit it up the middle and get going again.
Well, it's a common sight now, isn't it, on rugby fields, the replacing of a lens.
Time on.
But that was the effort of Renta Tsukayama, which may have dislodged the contact lens.
That's Mike.
And Wales need to be focused
Stability.
here.
Okay. Stability.
It's been a big area of conversation coming into this game, the scrum area. Wales a little bit lightweight compared, albeit you've got Chris Coleman, the heaviest man on the field at 19 stone 10, but the Japanese all about body height in the scrum.
So Japan go down really low here, and I'm sure that the referee Andre Piardi will want to work with both front rows because he wants to get it right from the outset.
Not too far.
Rhys Davis, Dewi Lake and Chris Coleman up against Kakuto Ishida, Miyu Ara and Renta Tsukayama. A huge tight head prop for Japan.
Crouch.
Out of shot, Harry Morgan has
Bind.
a quick look in the word with his outside half,
Early.
Ben Thomas.
Number 3, black.
So Wales over eager.
And this is an area I spoke to Alain Roland earlier this afternoon and asked him the key messages that they put through to the players and the officials within this tournament, and one of them is the scrum setup. They must be in a position to engage as and when, but not an early engage, and that's exactly what Wales have been pinged for there.
It's an excellent touch finder from the Japanese, exiting from their own 22, up over halfway. That's Dewi Cross, the debutant against New Zealand, off the bench on Sunday. Another 18-year-old, promising 18-year-old.
It's exactly what the Baby Blossoms needed. That, you know, this is the first time they've gone into Wales half in the first 7.5 minutes of this game, but they've defended very strongly. They will fight gamely for 80 minutes of this match.
Backwards play on.
Another mistake by Wales. Fortunately for them, the ball went backwards, so they'll have to start again through Coleman. Driving in, that's the number 7, Lennon Grigaines. Another talented youngster along with Tane Basham. It's looking good down there at Rodney Parade in terms of young men coming through. Harry Morgan takes it back, extends that right leg. You know what's coming. The kick and the chase. Almost a clean take.
Fair advantage.
Cross. Beats the first man. That was the number 8, Fujiwara.
No advantage, balls out.
So back to the scrum we go.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy there, but Wales scrappy at the line out. It all started with an inaccurate delivery to scrum half Harry Morgan at the line out play. From there, it was decent box kick. Little scrum half Shinobu Fujiwara went up for it, and from there it was tidied up very well by Dewi Cross, it was, who fought gamely in the tackle. It was Chris Coleman, the tight head prop, who actually went into the ruck, and the ball was there for him to clear the pass away, but I don't think he fancied it. It was a 15-metre pass off his left hand, which for a man of 125 kilos and tight head prop maybe isn't within his skill set at this stage.
Guys, you are too far. Okay, so close it, please. Good binding. You too. Let's go. Work out. Again, that's a mark.
So referee Piardi calls for a reset.
Crouch.
Tommy Reffel, the captain on this side of the Welsh scrum, at 6. From the Leicester Tigers, Morgan held up there by Fujiwara. Can't get the ball away. Wales are there in numbers. Gregains finds a gap closer to the ruck. This time perhaps it'll go out. Davis shouldn't really have been there. Lack of communication and a few choice words between Davis and scrum half Harry Morgan.
Yeah, you can sense the frustration for the Wales under-20s, and you can actually hear down the ref mic the amount of confidence that it's giving this Baby Blossom side. Even the inaccuracies here from Basham not controlling that at the back of the scrum immediately puts Harry Morgan under pressure with his opposition scrum half coming through on him, and it just highlights that first phase set play from scrum or line out. Get that clean, get your first phase, and you can get into the game. But so far, it's an area Wales are struggling in.
Bind. Set.
Davis against Tsukiyama on this side. That's going to be a huge contest for possession. But Japan have it quickly. Out it goes to the big man on the wing for Japan. That's Siosiya Fifita, started at centre in the earlier matches, and this is where Japan is so good, keeping the ball in hand, on tippy toes, arms out, waiting for the ball. And here it is, Vailea. Vailea steps back inside, and Japan will get the opening score, having soaked up the pressure in their own 22 in the opening minutes. Things not going right for Wales at all, and this is what we feared from Japan, that they were capable of upsetting the odds, and they certainly have. After 11 minutes, they lead Wales by 5-0.
Cracking score from the Baby Blossoms. All started down the left flank. Look at this power from Fifita. Get off 2-3 defenders, carries another couple with him. That opens up the space, and it was actually Mamada, the fly half. It looked like he was going sideways, but he knew where he was going. Vailea, the right winger, gets the ball in a bit of space, and didn't he do well? Gets through the two tacklers, dummies his left-handed pass, steps off the right foot. There he is, diving in 16, 17 metres right to the post. Brilliant score.
Well, that score has stunned the Welsh. And in the meantime, we have a replacement on for Wales. It's Rhys Carey on for Rhys Davis. It's a blood replacement for the loose head prop. Mamada, the outside half, to add the conversion. So 13 metres in from touch, that's the angle. An accurate kicker usually, Mamada, but on this occasion his aim is misdirected, so the score remains at Japan 5, Wales 0.
Credit to Japan, this was lovely. You see Mamada there, it looks like he's running up a blind alley, but he knew exactly where his man was. Vailea, what a finish that is. He had no right to score that try, bursting through two defenders, big right-footed step.
So the restart is long, taken by Shimokawa, a student from Waseda University. All members of the Japan squad are young students. Last year most of them played for Japanese high schools. They are the trophy winners, the junior trophy winners of 2017, of course. Wales caught offside.
Yeah, important moments now for Wales, just to regain their discipline, get themselves back into this game, because they'll be hugely frustrated. 3 driving line out in the first 5-6 minutes, and none of those opportunities taken within 10 metres. They've now just conceded. They just have to get themselves back into the game. Meanwhile, Japan growing in confidence every time they get the ball.
They certainly are. They caused Australia no end of problems. And speaking of frustrations, that young Ben Jones, who was to have started this match, but with his last kick of practice yesterday, he overstretched, hyper-stretched, or whatever you call it, and he'll be out for some time with a groin injury, and that's a shame, because there's competition for the Welsh number 10 shirt, and this is the Japanese number 10, Mamada. getting Japan on the front foot once again. Quick recycling, that's good.
Back.
Going to ground early, it's presented on the plate. Back again for Mamada, the testing kick. Dewi Cross has to retreat, but he's quite capable as a wing three-quarter or fullback. Gets good distance, doesn't find touch. And Wales a little at 6s and 7s in defence at the moment. Harry Morgan has called for it and takes it.
Man, play on.
Would have been, should have been his ball. He was coming up from depth. Unfortunately, Lewis Ellis-Jones couldn't jump as high. This is Ellis-Jones, leaves it for Rhys Davies back on, having had quick remedial work to stem the blood flow. Harry Morgan is down at the moment, so Wales need a scrum half. Get it in the unlikely form of Lennon Grigaines. Again, it's Lewis Ellis-Jones, aided and abetted by Jack Pope. Young lock forward from Bridgend. So referee Piardi will call a halt, so that Harry Morgan gets the attention he needs.
Yeah, I think he's done the right thing there, referee Piardi. Harry Morgan down. He came down awkwardly from going to take that kick, and it was his own man. It was Lewis Ellis-Jones who came down off. You see that the high ball goes up. He does incredibly well to get up there. Yep. Maybe just comes down a little bit awkwardly on that right shoulder.
Yeah.
Really good leap to get up there and claim it.
Yeah, your ball, strong, your ball.
Yeah, Harry Morgan from the Maesteg Bridgend area of South Wales. A student at Ysgol Gyfun Gymraeg Llangynnwyd, the Welsh school in Maesteg. Very promising youngster, very vocal scrum half.
Yeah, they'll be very keen to see him back up on his feet. You can see he's just catching his breath there, but having spoken to a couple of guys about him, he's got a big future. You can see physically he's already very developed, and a lot of people are speaking incredibly highly of him. And for further honours, the senior Welsh side, a lot of people believe he's got a big future in that number 9 jersey.
Well, still only 18 years of age, so he's got another season at least at this level. Harry Morgan of the Ospreys region.
Bind.
Full of confidence.
Set.
So Wales trail by 5 points to 0, 16 minutes into this match. Out it comes then to Johan Nicholas, who's already played for the Scarlets this season. Cross, you've got Harry Morgan on his inside. Morgan sprints away. Well, whatever the injury was, he's overcome it in the blink of an eye, and that will settle the nerves. And you can see the determination writ large on the scrum half's face. Great score by Wales.
Terrific bounce back, not only by Harry Morgan, but by the Welsh side. But Harry Morgan needs to go and find Johan Nicholas and give him a pat on the back. Look at that little footwork, right-footed step. Brought in scrum half Fujiwara, brought in the right winger, Vailea, and got that pass away down that left wing. And from there, look at that, it was the right-footed step. And that released Dewi Cross, inside ball to Morgan. And Morgan showing his pace to get under the sticks, and Wales bounced back immediately.
Well, the look on Harry Morgan's face says it all, didn't it? We've shown this Japanese side too much respect already. Let's get on with it. The conversion is good from Kai Evans, and Wales lead Japan now by 7 points to 5. And that's Ieuan Evans, the former Llanelli, Wales and British Lion international, father of Kai Evans. He attends every match where young Kai plays, but he doesn't interfere. There's a good exchange, frank exchange of views between the two, I gather. He
was an all right player himself, Ieuan Evans, wasn't he? Never forget him putting in 4 right-footed steps against Scotland, while my grandfather commentated on it when he went under the sticks. Merlin the Magician couldn't have done better.
And the grandfather referred to by Rory Lawson was none other than the great Bill McLaren himself. Great to have Rory Lawson's company alongside me here for an intriguing contest. Wales 7, Japan 5. Final pool match in Pool A. Wales need to rattle up the score if they have to have any ambitions of progressing in the competition, but as I said, they might have to rely on results going their way elsewhere. Great win over Australia in the opening match. Last year, of course, it was 17 all between Wales and Australia. Then, well, they took the game to New Zealand early on before going down 42 points to 10.
Yeah, perfect. Middle is the line.
A really important night tonight for this Wales under-20 side. They've had a little bit of an early shock with Japan scoring. They've got themselves back into the game, and they now just need to build on that. Don't go chasing this big score that they really need to get into the top tier of the tournament or give themselves a chance too early.
Wales man marking at the line out.
5, release!
It's not the best of possession for young Fujiwara, but he's found Mamada and on the charge. Soaking, or taking the contact there was, looked like as if it was Okayama, the captain.
Also, Bebo, over there. No, use 9.
There's a big burly Welshman in the way. The play on, says referee Piardi. Mamada. Again, bringing the heavyweights in midfield onto the ball. And the Japanese number 8, the big Asapeli Moala, has come out into midfield, but the kick is the option from Fujiwara. And Wales now have it through Jack Pope.
Play on.
I think that may well be the first touch for Ben Thomas.
No hands.
The outside half.
No, 9.
Not the cleanest of touches either. Raffle. It may have been Basham, actually. That's another mistake, a direct kick into touch.
Yeah, you're not going to be happy as a fly half in Ben Thomas's case if it takes 20 minutes to be able to get your first touch while the ball slips along this surface that's had a fair bit of rainfall earlier this afternoon. The weather is better now, but to compound that error, Kai Evans there putting one straight out just highlights the inaccuracies of Wales within this first quarter. They are leading, but the coaches and players amongst themselves won't be happy with the performance so far.
It's Lennon Gregains who's receiving treatment from the medical assistant here for Wales. Been busy already in the opening 20 minutes.
He has. He's clearly highlighted that Japan haven't committed too many men around the ruck, and he's gone straight through the middle on a couple of occasions, only maybe making 3 or 4 meters, but that forces the Japanese defence backwards. Wales just have lacked the accuracy that they would have demanded early on in this stage. But it's only a quarter of the game gone. An awful lot of this match still to develop, and the important thing, while the injury to Gregains was being attended to, is Tommy Reffel, get your players together and refocus the minds.
He took a bang on the hip there, I think, as he was trying to jackal the ball back on the Welsh side. Well, we remember this tactic being applied by the senior Japan side at the 2015 World Cup, and to good effect against South Africa and the USA as well in Gloucester. I seem to recall there was an inevitability about the rolling maul from Japan. There was an inevitability every time this guy gets the ball in hand. Fifita on the left wing, that's the captain, Okayama. This time perhaps Fujiwara looks for the breakthrough. No scrum half. So tall, rangy lock, Hashimoto goes in. Won't go far, there it is, laid back on a plate for captain Okoyama again. Japan 10 metres out from the Welsh try line, and Wales have to be on their best behaviour here. Dewi Lake, Jack Pope on the far side, Reffel is there as well, waiting for the next wave of attack. Fifita has a little bit of room out wide on the left. Wales caught offside. 8 phases of play. The intent was there.
No advantage, 8 offside.
So they'll come back for the penalty. And it is the Welsh number 18, Basham, who's been penalised, caught offside.
8 offside.
Yeah, and clever play there by Japan. A driving maul, got them a little bit of front foot. And even when the referee called that they had to then play it, they went to their big man, Siosaiya Fifita, on that left wing. This was the latter stages, just trying to make inch by inch closer to the line. But here you go, here's a signal of intent if ever you wanted it. Opportunity to go 8-7 up.
7 black.
The Baby Blossoms go for the corner.
Japan rather will have targeted this match in particular as a game they can well win. And Lennon Gregains then has to give way to Ben Fry, the Dragons youngster coming on. The Dragon, Newport Gwent Dragon for a Dragon. It's a shame for Lennon Gregains.
Come on.
I watched him play in the Welsh Premiership over the last season or two. He certainly created an impression. Japan. Tsukayama. And that's Arai with the ball tucked under his left arm. This time they go over. A well-worked try again by Japan. I've alluded already to the fact that they are very, very well drilled, technically astute, and as soon as they get that rolling ball going, you know that there is an inevitability about the move, and the score will surely come, as indeed it has, and Japan are back in front.
And they backed their maul, didn't they? All of the work done in front. You saw right there Shimokawa at the front, the big number 4 there. He's got to lay the platform, and from that the guys behind him working so hard. Initially work right, but then you actually see at the back Miyu Arai just taking his moment. He knew he was within 1.5 meters. There's the dive over the line. Japan score their second try of this match, and it's well deserved. My goodness, the mindset of these guys, they run hard, they hit good angles, they're technically very, very good. And they really deserve their lead right here, Win.
They certainly do, and they work hard for their points. They have to work hard for their points because they give away height, they give away weight. But once that rolling maul gets going, they're so tight as a unit. So this to extend the lead from Mamada way out on the far side. So 8 meters outside the Welsh 22. Well struck by the outside half, but again it's missed. So Wales still within 1 score. 25 minutes of play. Wales 7, Japan 10.
Really interesting contest already, when I think Japan have, as you say, targeted this game. They understand where there might be a few little creaks within the Welsh armoury. They've exposed them so far. Wales have also been a victim of their own downfall so far. They've lacked the accuracy that they would have come into this game hoping to have.
Well, this is the first try scorer for Japan. Vailea.
One away!
Takes the ball from the restart. Fujiwara. There's an arrow of attacking players in the midfield. Fujiwara has got his eyes on the ball. He'll get both hands on it this time. And again, there's an opportunity to peg Wales back into their own half.
Japan, really impressive stuff, and right at the forefront of it, that man there, Moala, the number 8, he's a key ball carrier, together with both wingers, Vailea and Fifita, 2 men that the Baby Blossoms will be very keen to get into this game. They've looked incredibly dangerous on the carry, they've given front football, they'd often wrestle off the first defender, which gives them the chance to get that rhythm, get that tempo, the front football that they really require, and also the platform here whereby giving away penalties, Wales are allowing Japan to build the tempo of this game, get their maul going.
And the difference between the two teams, you're just looking down from the grandstand here, Wales are looking at one another where every Japanese player knows exactly where he needs to be approaching this line-out. In Wales, well, there's a latecomer into the line-out, and they don't challenge for that one, and again, Japan get into that huddle, into that maul position on the Wales 10-meter line, working hard, working for one another, and looking good value for their 3-point advantage here. Wales retreating. Coleman comes in to try and stem the flow, changing the point of attack. Obstruction by Japan this time.
Ball was not in the front.
A rare mistake.
Change line, obstruction.
Yeah, that one, Andrea Piardi there, giving a penalty against Japan. It became a new maul, and because there were 2 men in front of the ball carrier, they were viewed as being obstructive to allow a Wales defender to get to the ball. It's a frustrating penalty to give away, because once again the platform was there. Japan keeping things very simple, playing rugby in Wales territory, not scared of kicking the ball, Wales giving away a couple of penalties, which again gives them opportunities. But from there, they're backing their maul. They're allowing that to give front foot, and then they're trying to get both wingers involved to add the punch off the back of it.
So Wales again late into the line out. Japan challenging. Off the right wing came Corey Baldwin. This is better in midfield incursion from Johan Nicholas. This time perhaps than Thomas Wheeler with the flashy boots. Hint perhaps of a knock on. But it's untidy once again by Wales, and Kai Evans has to come in from full-back. It's a little hear him, scare him here. Wales will get the advantage. But they need accuracy. Thomas waits, both hands, to Rhys Davis, the prop, to set it up again. But Japan are there in numbers. Morgan out to Thomas, to Nicholas. Looks for Baldwin and finds him. Powerful Corey Baldwin. Finds himself on the wing this evening. Ball not going to hand, but fortunate for Wales, it didn't go forwards. This looks promising again. Joey Cross into the Japanese at 22. Morgan to Rhys Davis. He's the first recipient once again. And his sole purpose would appear to be to set up the secondary possession. Thomas Wheeler taken down. This is the number 8, Tane Basham, who scored that balletic try against New Zealand early on in the clash on Sunday. Japan making sure of their first one-up tackles as Basham again just shows the ball and gains another yard or so. Morgan thought he'd spotted a gap. Close to, not this time. Some interesting patterns behind the ruck here for Wales.
Advantage, no harm.
Wales will get the advantage, but they want more than 3 points.
Only shoulder.
Wales making hard work of it.
Be careful.
They have the runners behind, they have the talent.
They definitely do. I think you've got to credit the Japanese defence. Their line speed is good. Their chop tackle is very good. You will rarely see a Japanese player tackle above the waist level. They always look to take the legs of the opposition player away. A penalty given against, I think it was Okayama, the captain. You see there he is diving in, and the referee suggested there were no arms given. He dived in, led with his shoulder without the wrap of the arms. Now that is a penalty. You can see Tommy Reffel in there having a word with the referee, just saying, are the Japanese players legal when they're slowing down our ball? Because it's only that second that takes away the momentum.
Kai Evans, 23 points in the tournament, equal to New Zealand's Harry Plummer coming into this match. So to go out on his own as top point scorer in the tournament, Kai Evans keeps his eyes on the ball and brings Wales back on level terms with Japan. Wales 10, Japan 10. I wonder what Ian Evans is making of all this. 72 caps for Wales and 7 for the British Lions.
I think he'll be living every moment, just like his son Kai in that number 15 jersey. He'll be frustrated as to what the platform has been in front of the backs. And even on that one there, they managed to make meters, get some territory, but it was far from accurate throughout. A lot of passes bouncing, skipping along the ground, inaccuracies in the contact area, which Wales need. If they get that and they generate quick ball, they will cause this Japanese side a lot of trouble.
And Wales in trouble again, or so it did appear. Ben Thomas's kick charged down, and over the dead ball line it goes. And Wales need to be in the clear on the hour, because if Japan are still in it with 10-15 minutes to go, then you'd have to fancy their chances.
And that's where they've struggled, particularly against Australia. The Japanese were in the game at 55-ish minutes, but Australia just pulled away. They showed a little bit of class, just bring on a slightly stronger bench, that little bit more energy. But yeah, Wales will be very wary. They'll be keen on getting another score before half-time.
Kai Evans gets great distance on that kick, the restart from the 22. He's got a huge boot on him. And comparisons have been made with former Wales fullback Paul Thorburn. Similar style and gait. Trying to wrestle the ball back is Jack Pope. It's there for Mamada, tackled by Coleman
Some
and Thomas
more.
Wheeler.
Rip by black, play
And
on.
somehow they managed to rip the ball back. Baldwin lays it back. Evans assumes duties at scrum half. Davis on the angle, comes Dewey Lake. Sometimes a flank forward.
Takes
Tonight
away,
at
take
hooker.
fine.
Japan surely over the top there.
No.
Again, some indecision in the Welsh ranks. Thomas leaves it for Ellis Jones. Strong, tall West Walian from the
Off his feet.
coastal town of Aberystwyth.
Off feet. Up.
So Japan indeed penalised for going off their feet.
Yeah, it was Tsukayama, the tight head prop, who was really quickly and over the top of the ball, but his hands just went beyond the ball initially, which ultimately takes him out of the game, not supporting his weight. But all of these Japanese players are very comfortable over the top of the ball. They like to jackal, and that's exactly what Tommy Reffell, the Wales captain, was saying to the referee. You see there in the fight, just that knee going to ground as well, having him off his feet. But Wales, another good attacking opportunity with just 5 or so minutes to go of this first half.
The ripping work there done by Reffell and Baldwin between them. So again, we were back to where we were in the opening few minutes. Into the Japanese 22, a line out. That's the replacement, Ben Fry. Japan got a hand to it, it's knocked forward.
Japan need to tackle.
It's so frustrating.
Absolutely, you can sense the frustration within the Welsh side, and it's actually picking up on the body language. It's Tian Thomas Wheeler, the 18-year-old out in the midfield, is trying to rally the troops. He looks to be high energy, but they'll be frustrated. You see the ball there at the back. Ben Fry coming out the back, but just a Japanese hand getting to that ball and intercept, or getting in between the receiver and the passer. It wasn't deliberate, it was within the tackle, so it's just a Welsh scrum. Another cracking platform though.
A quick channel one ball is what's required here. Thomas and Thomas Wheeler in midfield. Johan Nicholas.
Early.
This time it's Japan penalised for going early. Ben Fry has a go himself. Not sure that was in the script. But he's got within 5 metres of the Japanese try line, and Wales are over there on the far side in numbers. But in quickly was the centre, Yutomori, for Japan. Wales come again, looking to use their power. But they will come back.
12 offside.
Offside flagged on the far side. That's 4 times now, says Captain Reffell. Just reminding the referee that there might be a yellow card in his pocket somewhere.
Got a funny feeling they'll go for posts here again, Kai Evans. But my goodness, you have to applaud the Baby Blossoms' effort and energy. 5 metres from their line, the mindset, the communication, and then the pure attitude. Defence so often is attitude. Get off the line, make your tackles, get back to your feet, get in line again. And they're showing so much effort within that area. You have to applaud them. Wales getting frustrated, and you can tell by Tommy Reffell going into the referee saying that's 4 penalties. But my goodness, the Japanese are an incredibly proud bunch, and they are staying within this fight. They really deserve to be in this fight. Wales frustrated, but at the same time, it's a cracking contest.
2 after 2 for Kai Evans. Virtually in front of the post, a metre perhaps to the right. And to give Wales the lead for the second time as we approach the break. It's a simple effort from the Welsh fullback. And Wales lead by 13-10 as we approach the break. That's Chris Horseman, the former Wales international prop. Now in the coaching setup of the Wales under-20s and under-18s as well.
He'll have been busy in this first half, passaging messages on from upstairs. I guess it's always that balance in coaching. How much information do you give the players, and how much do you leave to them to make the decisions themselves? A key part of the development of this sort of age group.
Well, upstairs might be the pertinent word, because the best answer to the frustrations from the Welsh point of view is to stick at it and concentrate on the job in hand and let the referee basically.
Skip up.
Now then, there will be a lecture here.
Speak to your play, okay? More discipline, please. In the air.
Yeah, more discipline from Suicaya Fifita, taking the man in the air.
Probably got a little bit lucky there, and Corey Baldwin did well. He wasn't knocked too much off balance, but he brought himself down to ground, and it wasn't in any way dangerous. If Fifita catches them at a slightly different angle, he could have been punished a little bit more there, but I guess he shows the intent to chase that down, get off the line, put the attacker under pressure, but just needs to control his body language a little bit better.
Lick this time finds Tain Basham. Thomas Wheeler to Johan Nicholas to straighten the line. He's got support on the outside. Falls over the tackler. Good work by Ben Fry, holding the ball in both hands. But look again how many Japanese players are there, eager to get their hands on the ball. Coleman can't take it. And Japan now then. Wales slow to reorganize their defenses here. Ball called for early. Oh, a good show and go there. The deception from Mamada. The Japanese outside half. This then the final minute on the opening 40.
Use it! Advantage over for a knock.
Where Japan have 2 tries on their side of the score sheet. Wales just 1. Cross takes it in the air. Little kick into space. Space filled quickly by the second row.
I really like this guy, Johan Nicholas. I've seen him play a lot for the Scarlets in the Pro 14 this year, and he's been one of the key men within the Wales side for the go forward. He set up the first try for Harry Morgan, and he's just so dangerous. He's as comfortable in the 13 jersey as he is in 14 or 11, and he is such a danger. You can see him, he's actually strolling around behind the scrum at the moment. Wouldn't surprise me if he come down this left flank, Harry Morgan. Similar to what they did for that first score of the first half, and they'll be very keen to finish with some kind of points as the clock ticks into the red.
A lot of shouting.
Crouch!
The orders.
Bind!
Fry goes down at number 8. Morgan feeds.
Stay there.
Nicholas waits. He's got Dewi Cross on his shoulder. And here it comes then. Morgan will take it up first. Nicholas to a cross, cuts back inside. Held up and shoved back over the 22. In goes Valea, the right wing this time. The ball has to stay in the hands. Basham. Will it come out to the backs? That's Pope Thomas to Thomas Wheeler, desperate to make an impression. Young Ben Thomas, the late replacement. Kai Evans up from fullback. Wales have numbers over on the left. As Pope takes it up again, taken by 2 or 3 Japanese defenders. Out it goes on the narrow side. Again, no way through for Corey Baldwin. But he set it up nicely.
Stay there. Go and do that again.
Coleman, not the best of passes. Luckily, Pope was wide awake. Fry to Thomas Wheeler. Now then, perhaps brushes aside the first tackler. Back inside. Morgan looking for his second try. And will still have it. Well, they did through Basham, and again is lost forward in the tackle, and another golden opportunity goes begging as referee Piardi blows the whistle to bring an eventful first half to a close. A first half that has seen Japan score 2 tries to Wales' 1. The rest of the points for Wales have come from the boot of Kai Evans at half-time here at the start. Amy Giral, it's Wales 13, Japan 10.
Work harder. Work with discipline. Discipline. Use 8!
Play on. Okay. Play on. Play on. Okay. Ten. More! Four. More! Four. Four. Early. Number 3. Early. 8, away. Grab offside, play on. No advantage. 12 offside.
Par la Géorgie, 8-17. Et puis, depuis que les Italiens et les Argentins s'affrontent actuellement, c'est l'Italie qui mène assez largement pour l'instant, 22-5. If you want to know what's happened on stadiums, look at the screens. Ireland 8 versus Georgia 70 points in the Narrow. Italy 28 points, Argentina 5 points. That's the invincible.
Welcome back to the Stade Aimé Giral here in Perpignan in the south of France, where we are getting ready for the second half of the match between Wales and Japan. And Wales just edged their opponents by 13 points to 10. And the intriguing equation here is that Wales are in second place in the pool on 4 points. And should Japan win this one, then they will climb above Wales, which means that Wales will finish bottom of their pool. So it's all to play for here in the second half, and referee Andrea Piardi has had his work cut out in the first half. Lots of mistakes, a few choice words, but Japan, well, their ambition in this tournament as junior trophy winners the last year, which qualified them for the under-20 championship, is to stay in the competition for next year and beyond. Andrea Piardi signals to get the second half underway. The ball just dropping beyond the 10-metre line, coming off a Welsh player. That was Jack Pope. So the first line out of the second half, Rory Lawson, will go to Japan.
Yeah, really great kickoff by Halatoa Vailea, the right winger for Japan. Right on the 10-metre line, landing 1 metre in from the touchline. And it was his fellow winger, Sayosaya Fafita, who went up for it. He didn't quite manage to get a full hand to it, but it came off Jack Pope into touch. Japan going for the scrum rather than the line-out.
I think the ball might have been knocked forward initially by Japan, and that's, I think, what referee Piardi spotted. Egon Seconds on the wing here thought it might have come off a Welsh player into touch. So it's a Welsh put-in.
Coach!
Egon Seconds, the referee's assistant. I remember him playing for South Africa Sevens back in the day. I think he won bronze at the Manchester Commonwealth Games in 2002. Ben Fry, this young man has certainly created an impression since he's come on as a replacement for Lennon Gregains. He has the most carries and most metres made for Wales. Slow ball again for Harry Morgan. At outside half, it's Kai Evans, Tian Thomas Wheeler, straight down the throat of the Japanese player, but they'll have to come back. No harm done, but Thomas Wheeler will be disappointed with that kick.
Yeah, he will be. I think one of the key things in this second half, Japan just have to be a little bit wary. They gave away 7 penalties in that first half, 5 of them inside their own half, and that's an early penalty. And the captain of the Welsh side, Tommy Reffel, early on in this match was in the ear of referee Andrea Piardi, and I'm sure he'll be planting a seed. Ultimately, that one inside Wales half, but from here on, Japanese just have to be a little bit wary of not giving away too many penalties.
Ben Fry, the Hartbury College student. And the Dragons squad down at Rodney Parade at Newport. To the back it goes, but it's overthrown. Luckily, Fry was alert once again, brushing aside the first tackler. sets it up. This time it is quick ball for Ben Thomas. Thomas Wheeler to Baldwin in off the wing. He can do some damage with ball in hand. He's still moving forward. 5 meters short then of the Japanese try line. It's on its way. Thomas Wheeler drives hard towards the Japanese try line. Morgan to Fry. Not for the first time. Wales lose possession in that red zone.
That man Ben Fry, I was just about to give him a pat on the back, which would have proved the commentator's curse, but he's been really impressive since coming on. That pass there was a bit of a wobbler by Harry Morgan, but this attack down that left flank there, really good running by Corey Baldwin, got Wales on the front foot. That'll be a confidence builder from them. Frustrating end to that attacking play, and it didn't start with a clean line out, but Wales starting to tick. Tian Thomas Wheeler in that number 12 jersey as well, right at the forefront of good stuff that Wales are doing. Well,
the forward 8 here will probably have the stinging words of Chris Horseman ringing in their ears. They probably had a bit of a talking to at half-time. First scrum of the second half, and we saw problems in the opening 40 minutes. Pre-engagements, front rows going to ground. Very difficult side of scrimmage against the Japanese. So low, so tight.
Let's go, guys.
So powerful.
Work hard.
Yeah, they're compact, aren't they? In the world of sumo wrestling, they're very powerful in this area. They're not the biggest side, but my goodness, they're power athletes and they pride themselves in their technique. Look at, you see the body height, they just a couple of inches below the Welsh front row.
Binding. Okay, free kick, binding.
And again, Wales are penalised.
Binding early.
Binding early.
It's another key area Alan Roland highlighted.
It's a free kick.
The binding's going to be there, but he doesn't want the front rows to be too close. He wants there to be an engage when the referee calls it. He's made it very clear, but neither side has really sorted it out. And that time, it was Wales who made the error. It just gives an easy exit for Japan, albeit just a free kick. Wales will have the line out.
Well, you can make up your own minds about that one.
It's a free kick. It's a free kick.
Rhys Davies really frustrated. The number 1 for Wales comes from Rob Evans' country. Rob Evans, of course, the incumbent Welsh loose head prop on tour in Argentina at the moment. Now then, this time, Davies again looking to make up for that indiscretion. Wales queuing up on the outside. Ball not going to hand, though. They have to be quick because Japan are extremely quick. Baldwin goes down, can't secure possession. Went forward from a Welsh hand. Japan through Yamasawa, hardly mentioned his name, the Japanese fullback. On the angle, this is where Japan are dangerous again, and look at the intent. Every player concentrating on the job in hand. Referee in the way.
Backwards, play on.
Well, fortunately for Wales, they have possession, or they did have it.
It's over there.
For a split second, in goes Fujiwara. It's back. Well, somehow Wales have won that one back on the ground through Tommy Reffel, the captain, but still camped in their own 22. A minute or two ago, they were knocking on the Japanese try line.
Yeah, well, Harry Morgan, the Welsh scrum half, finally brings a little bit of quality to a piece of play that was really scrappy, full of errors. And I'm not sure whether anybody in the stadium really knew what was going on, let alone the referee, Andrea Piardi. But Wales breathe again. It was inaccuracies in their own attacking play which gave Japan the opportunity to get through and put a boot on ball. But it was about as scrappy a set of play as we've had in this game so far.
So Japan find their man in the line out. Let's see what they can do in midfield with ball in hand. Wales' turn to defend in midfield. Some stout defenders there for Wales. Lake. Good work.
Vantage over.
Using his shoulder to good effect. Thomas Wheeler to Nicholas. Hardly any room in which to manoeuvre in that 5 to 15 metre channel. Morgan has a quick look. Finds Lewis Ellis-Jones. Isolated for a split second there. Japan again coming in over the top.
Okay, stop now, it's a ruck.
So the ruck has been formed. Kai Evans up from fullback. Fry once again. He's held on to the ball.
Take that, no.
Evans scoops it out into the hands of Ben Thomas. Reffel, the captain. Japan up very quickly out of the defensive line. Neat little offload from the number 18, Basham. Spilt by Japan though, but they were looking for the interception.
Time off.
And some tired bodies out there, particularly so in the Welsh ranks.
Yeah, very much so. And we're obviously highlighting the inaccuracies within the Welsh side. You look at Tame Basham looking for a left-handed offload out the back there. A lot of this is coming from the pressure of the Japanese defence. It's not always a cumulative effort whereby they're working as a line together, but when they charge up, it was Hashimoto, the number 5 second rower, who managed to just pick out the attacking player Basham, get up off the line, chop tackle, force the mistake. His tight head prop Tsukayama came through secondary to put his effort in, and a lot of the mistakes coming from this Welsh side are perhaps just they're getting a little bit flat, they're not being accurate, they're not carrying on the right angles. Couple of bloody noses in there as well. The Japanese, for a small side, my goodness, they throw what weight they've got around.
Yeah, Lewis Ellis-Jones there receiving treatment to stem the blood, but the concern at the moment is for Rhys Davis, the Welsh loose head, and already you see the number 17, the experienced Rhys Carey on.
Guys, blood.
Come on a little bit earlier perhaps than he would have hoped for perhaps.
Number 4, yeah, number 4.
Very powerful prop forward is Rhys Carey, and could well be the Cardiff Blues prop, the successor to Gethin Jenkins, as Davis calls it a day. On also comes Max Williams. Wales a bit light in the second row department. He can play there or at the back.
Number 4.
Yeah, you can see why Rhys Davis, the loose head prop, has been likened to Rob Evans. He's clearly a good ball carrier, backs his skill set, mobile around the field. Williams comes on for Ellis-Jones as well. He's a big physical man. He'll look to impose himself on this game in the early stages. But as I touched on, Japanese defence, the stats here: tackles made 70, tackles missed 10. Now that might seem like a lot of tackles to be missing. 1 in 8 tackles, but at the same time, it's the pressure that they're building on the Welsh attack. They're getting off the line, and if the player misses a tackle, he's got other guys around him with the same line speed who'll make them.
Lewis Ellis-Jones took a knee to the nose.
Crouch.
So let's see how the Welsh scrum will fare here with Carey, the powerful scrummager at loose head, and straight away making his presence felt, and the penalty comes Wales' way. Well, that's no surprise, because that man, Rhys Carey, is a strong scrummager, and when it comes to squatting weights, he's got a personal best of 210 kilograms.
Did that in the gym this morning, Win?
Probably you did.
No, maybe it was just when I was waking up. I came out of a dream of squatting 210 kilos. My goodness, Rhys Carey there. What an impact. It's exactly the impact that he and Max Williams in the second row would have wanted to make. That there's been relative parity in that scrum. But Wales there, you just see the pressure on that loose head side. Carey popping up, but the pressure and the go forward was from Wales.
So Kai Evans gives Wales good field position. To the back it goes. That's the best ball if you want to attack quickly in midfield. Carey loves to carry the ball. Fresh legs, fresh impetus for Wales, hopefully. But again, it's the old story. Handling errors costing Wales dearly in that red zone. They should have had perhaps another 3 tries, but for mistakes so close to the Japanese try line. And Japan have pushed Wales back out over the 22. Evans keeps a watchful eye, a chance perhaps to counter. Hoists the high ball, gives chase, and catches his man. Good work by the Wales fullback.
Number 10.
And he's given good position again to his team.
Under pressure, 10 and 6.
And they'll be delighted to have a penalty, Wales. But again, this continuing narrative of the frustration that must be building within the side. Just unforced errors. You touched on it, Carey with the carry off the line out. here's a frustration here as well. You can see the smaller man, number 10 jersey, Mamada, just off his feet. He's on his knees there, getting over the top of Fujiwara, his halfback partner. But that just gave Wales the opportunity that they ultimately had earlier on in possession. Front football, and it was the 9-10, it was Harry Morgan, number 9, linking with captain Reffel, but he was looking to somebody else, and the ball bounced off his chest, giving the possession back to Japan.
So early arrivals for the next match that will take place here at 9 o'clock this evening. Those were the New Zealanders, who are reigning world champions, of course, and standing proud on top of Pool A. And they will face off against Australia, strengthened by 3 Queensland Red players who've been flown in earlier this week. Wales 13, Japan 10. And Kai Evans for the first opportunity for points in this second half, 15 metres in from the far touchline. And a rare miss for the Wales fullback. And much to the disappointment, no doubt, of Dadiayan.
Balls.
And there we go, a sign of the handling errors. Obviously, Japan with 7, Wales with 6, and it does highlight, it probably doesn't highlight the inaccuracies of Wales. As much as anything, it's been their ball possession in contact and their ability to look after the ball has been dislodged on a number of occasions. A number of passes haven't gone to hand. Yes, they've regained the ball. It's not necessarily been viewed as a handling error, but it's taken away the momentum that Wales really, really need to get themselves a real grip on this game.
So Evans takes the ball into contact, and Wales, they finished 7th in the tournament 12 months ago in Georgia, and they could find themselves, if they're not careful here, in the 3rd tier stage of the tournament next weekend, battling for 9th position. Baldwin off his left foot, gets away from the Japanese defender. Jerry Cross pins back his ears. That's much better from Wales. At last then, the second try created by Corey Baldwin and finished off by the man who's starting for Wales for the first time in the number 11 shirt. That's Dewi Cross.
There you go, a great moment for Dewi Cross. This time, pat on the back to Corey Baldwin. Look at this, left-footed, right-footed step, right-handed fend. Just freezes the space up to put Dewi Cross away in the corner. A good score, but this all came from Baldwin. There you go, left-footed step, and that big right-handed fend got himself away. Not dissimilar to Johan Nicholas in the first try for Harry Morgan, just creating a space, one-on-one, isolating a single defender, and the guys around him benefiting off the back of that. And that time, Cross goes over for a much-needed score from Wales, takes them over a 1 score away from Japan.
Difficult kick for Evans from the far touchline, a metre or 2 outside the Japanese 22. Steadies himself, takes a deep breath to curl this one in, aiming for the far upright. Again, it's a miss, but Wales have a 2-score advantage. 18-10 they lead.
Important for Wales to strike first in this second half. It's a real confidence builder from them. They have showed better pictures to coach Geraint Lewis in this half, but my goodness, they needed to. Japan will continue to come, so they will now look to get some territory within this game and start building a bounce back.
Balea put in a well-placed restart earlier on. This time he kicks long. Evans has called for it. Thinks about the kick. You can see that there were 2 or 3 advancing Japanese players. So the support is there. Again, it's Fry asked to do the carrying.
He carries well, doesn't he?
He's done that well. Much impressed by
Fully
him.
bind.
How on earth did a Japanese player get his hands on that ball? Fry seemed to have it well covered. Here come Wales again, then Thomas Wheeler to Nicholas. Smashed in the tackle, so they will come back.
Was good.
It's Wales' advantage.
Harry Morgan might have a couple of choice words to say to the men protecting the ball in that ruck there. Just all too easy for the Japanese player to get through. He can't kick the ball out, but I think he managed to dislodge it. I'll be interested to see that again, but that was the second error forced by Tommy Reffel, the Welsh captain.
Both of you. Okay? Both.
Japan looking to make a substitution.
Crouch. Bind.
But Yamada, the replacement prop, will have to wait his turn until after the scrum. Now it's another lesson from Kare on the far side, controlled by Fry. Powerful scrummaging again from the Welsh, but once again Kare bringing all the experience of a few games for the senior Cardiff Blues side in regional and Pro 14 competition.
Yeah, and every forward within that pack will say it's an 8-man effort, but my goodness, the impact of both Max Williams and Rhys Carey on that loose head side has made all the difference in this second half.
Evans misses touch on this occasion, looking for distance. Distance found by the Japanese kicker. It's approaching the hour mark, and Yusuke Yamada will now come on for Japan in place of Gatsudo Ishida.
Guys, both of you.
So Nick, again, finding Reffel, his captain. Round the back it goes to Thomas Wheeler. He'll have a go. This is what we wanted to see from young Tian Thomas Wheeler. He of the flashy orange boots. Williams nailed just inside the Japan half of the field. Thomas, again, Japan up very quickly out of the defensive line, preventing anything from developing on the outside. Thomas Wheeler, just a little step, opens the door for Dewi Lake, a powerful hooker from the Ospreys region.
Red.
Slow ball again by Wales.
Use 9.
Well, it needed to come out, didn't it? And Morgan will hoist it high, asking Baldwin to give chase. As he does, came back off a Japanese player's hand. Thomas Wheeler goes in round the neck, and that is not allowed.
Yeah, it's just a cheap penalty. But Tian Thomas Wheeler is starting to have even more of a say and a grip on this game in the number 12 jersey. He reminds me a little bit of James Hook. He's quite rangy, long limbs, nice footballer, second playmaker within this back line. He showed a number of nice touches, only 18 years old. Part of the Ospreys squad with outings in both Pro 14 and Anglo-Welsh this year. That one there would be disappointed in. Just a little bit of a high shot and a soft penalty to concede when you're putting pressure on Japan, particularly on a second rower. You could almost forgive him if it was on a smaller man.
It's time off, guys. It's time off. 5 black.
So Wales making further substitutions. But, well, Lewis Ellis-Jones has stemmed the flow of blood, so will come off when it's Jack Pope coming off. And coming on, wearing 16, is Yestin Harris. And he's a hooker.
Done? Okay, time on.
And on for Chris Coleman is Rhys Henry. 16 right on the back of the line out, ready to support Max Williams if the ball comes his way. Not this time. It's a Japanese throw-in. Fujiwara darts, snipes, puts in the long kick downfield. Kai Evans has to sprint back for that one. Plenty of time inside his own 22 and sends it flying downfield into touch, almost up to halfway.
Lovely little break from Shinobu Fujiwara. Saw the Welsh back rowers rushing through on his fly half man, took the gap, kicked through, but he was just out there on his own. I think he jumped the gun and got ahead of any support. As it was, Kai Evans had a bit of time and space to make a good clearance.
So Wales challenging 4-on-4, but it's taken by Shimokawa.
Backwards, play on.
Loose ball, Wales in the hunt, looking to jackal the ball back. Not successfully, so Japan will build from here, just inside their own half. Fujiwara round the The back he goes, taken by Rhys Carre, and that's not an enticing prospect for a diminutive scrum half.
No, thank you.
You've been there, done that, and torn the t-shirt.
I've survived it, that's the main thing.
Right there of Rory Lawson, the former Scottish international scrum half. So we're into the final quarter. Wales lead by 8 and by 18 points to 10. And Japan making a decent fist of it. 2 tries apiece.
They certainly are. And there'll be some heavy legs out there when you think about the turnaround between games, to be able to continue to recycle yourself. These guys are young men, but you can see the physicality of these games, the pace of these games. They'll start getting a little bit of heaviness in the legs coming into this final quarter. Interesting to see who finishes stronger out of these two teams.
A clean take by Max Williams, who's seen the senior experience with the Newport Gwent Dragons this season. Not the best of efforts.
Small margins there. Harry Morgan just inches over that touchline. It was well left by Vailea on the right wing. But Japan, great opportunity here. It's been a while since they've had an opportunity to be this deep in the Welsh half.
Well, now this is interesting. Ryan Conbeer comes on for Ben Thomas, who started ahead of Ben Jones, who was injured yesterday with the last kick of the training session. So let's see how Wales regroup here. Kai Evans has come up to outside half. Dewi Cross has moved back to fullback. That's his natural position. Conbeer goes to the wing. And Conbeer and Baldwin. Now there's an exciting partnership for you for the Scarlets. But Japan have possession here.
That's exactly what they would have wanted as well. Taking the man early in there. It was that captain, Tommy Reffel, gives Japan a perfect opportunity to nudge this ball deep into the Welsh 22 and bring on this maul that's proved such a good weapon for them in the first 62 minutes of this game.
Well, how do Wales stop this attacking maul legally is the question.
Okay, not in the air.
The attacking maul that's bound to come from the line out. Will it go to the front? Will it go to the back?
No, guys. Black are okay. You have to open the gap.
It all starts with Miu Arai, who claimed Japan's second score into the hands of Shimokawa. The crowd around the ball carrier. Wales get in early and low, but still Japan come driving forward. And Wales somehow this time have turned it over. Great work in defence.
Exactly what you need. And there's that man again, Ben Fry. Came on fairly early for Lennon Gregaines, and he's made an impact, carrying there, probably more importantly defensively from that maul, managing to get through on the ball and win his side that scrum.
That's the mark.
Well, a completely new front row for Wales then, and the first scrum for Iestyn Harris.
Straight.
Blues Academy player, plays for the famous Pontypridd Rugby Club.
Set. Stay there.
Wales and Rhys Henry on this side extremely low. Look at Rento Tsukayama up in the air. But Japan, do they still have it? No, they've given away a penalty. Oh, what a scrimmage that was from Wales. It's okay to congratulate one another, but let's get on with the game. You need the points.
Yeah, and you can tell that there are a lot of neutrals in this crowd who want to set up the grandstand finish there. Harry Morgan rewarded with a penalty, getting over the top of the ball. Was he potentially not supporting his way? I'm not sure, but the key difference, planting a seed in the referee's mind. You see, firstly, turnover from the scrum. Moala comes away. There's the camera actually just pans away, but Harry Morgan got over the top of the ball. Because there was a second or two while he was on the ball, that was it. Key penalties against Japan. 12, too many to keep them properly in this fight.
Well, they're not done yet, are they?
Rip by black before and then knock on black. By you.
There we go. They are not done. It was Arai in the carry there, ripped free, but then actually it was the second knock on there, really, really sharp from referee Andrea Piardi to pick up on that.
Certainly was.
Thankfully he's closer than you and I up here when we both had a look at each other from 70 metres from the ball to say, oh, I'm not sure about that one.
And the Japanese won't relish the prospect of going down into the scrum following the powerful Welsh scrum last time. It's
the difference when you have the put in and don't have the put in though. Wales, the back row, have to keep their heads up. Maybe don't push in the scrum that 5% across the three of them. Japan would just look for a quick channel one strike in and away, build some go forward ball and start to generate some pressure on this Welsh side, because a score now and it is properly game on.
So there's the position for Japan, and out on his own on the far right is Halatua Vailea, scorer of Japan's first try. Up from fullback is Yamasawa, just inside the left wing, Fifita. Third time in this match now Wales are penalised for the early engagement.
And no prizes for guessing what's going to happen here for me. Japan, there's an argument to say take the 3 points, then you get yourself within a score. But they're going to go the same route they've gone all day long. They only know one way, and that's the corner. Back the drive. Oof, not quite the meterage that Mamada would have liked.
There was such an argument, if I recall, when Japan were within a draw of South Africa in the Senior Rugby World Cup in 2015. What did they do? No, they went to the sidelines.
And that's a memory that even rugby neutrals all over the world will remember, the celebrations from that.
Indeed, and we're all looking ahead to the Rugby World Cup, to the Senior Rugby World Cup next year in Japan. So Harry Morgan gives way. And Dane Blacker from the Cardiff Blues comes on for the remainder of this match at scrum half. And we'll see much more of Harry Morgan, that's for sure. Blacker also played for the Pontypridd club. Shimokawa again pulls it down, and referee Piardi is quite happy that the maul went down, went to ground illegally.
Ball is in
was
front,
looking to drive the ball carrier into touch, but they've changed the point of attack. It's there for mighty Asipeli Moala, another player of Tongan extraction in this Japan side. Now they'll regroup and send in Shohei Oyama, the replacement prop forward. And some big units out in midfield. We've hardly seen the ball throughout the afternoon here, or the evening rather. Wales just standing off, waiting for the next wave of attack. The fifth phase of play. In goes Harris, the Welsh hooker. Not this time. Look at the size of the Sueli Vakalahi in midfield. We've hardly seen him at all in this match. And out on the left wing, that's a Fifita. But it's the forwards taking up again, almost within 5 metres of the Welsh try line.
13 of the Japanese players in 15 metre of width. Both wingers right out on their touchline. Otherwise, everyone else close by.
8.
Knocked back on their heels. They're on the front foot again. That's Shimokawa, the lock forward. Standing out is the captain, Okayama, 7. There he is with ball in hand. Taken down early there by Vizcarre. Back up on his feet. This time they go to the open side. And again, gaining traction. This time out it goes. Mori to the wing three-quarter Vailea, looking for his second try. The ball in the tackle, forced out of his hands. And Wales will get the put in.
Patient build-up from Japan. This is the 12th or 13th phase. Ball went wide to Vailea. Big right-footed step, just a little bit of a tap tackle. And as he hit the slippery surface, the ball just came clear. He's got to look after that and potentially reach over the line. Worst case scenario, just recycle it and hope that the support comes close. But a potential opportunity. You can see the frustration in the face of Halatoa Vailea, already scored in this game. My goodness, will he be kicking himself come the end of the game?
Dane Blacker with a telling tattle. He's Henry back on his feet, and Shohei Oyama also needing some attention.
Let's go, guys.
It will be a Welsh put-in.
Time
10
on.
minutes or so to go, and Wales desperately need to win this one with a bonus point.
Yeah, let me tell you, Dane Blacker in that 21 jersey is not a sight you want to see as a covering scrum half, a wing in full flow. He lost his footing, Blacker, but managed to just get his right arm outreached, force that tap tackle.
Blacker, the scrum half, plenty of experience at this level. He's a third season campaigner. Played first of all in the under-20 shirt at 17 years of age. Shown good form for Pontypridd Rugby Club for the last 2 seasons.
Set. Stay.
How many times has that scrum gone to ground?
It's been scrappy all evening, hasn't it? It's I think we've had a couple of clean scrums, but even then,
I'll give you this side.
there's been a twist and a turn in there. It's been an interesting contest.
Guys, up.
I certainly don't know the dark arts of front
Okay.
row play, but it's not given us the quality of first phase possession that we'd be looking for, and particularly for both attacking backlines.
You need to be able to keep your backs straight, and when Japan go down that
Crouch.
low, it's difficult.
Bind.
In as much that you're in danger of getting penalised as the opposition, unless you can match them this time. Well, Wales in difficulty, but it's that man Fry again who lifts the pressure on the Welsh try line, back safely into the hands of Evans, who sends it sailing downfield, but only as far as the 22. He's put in some useful kicks tonight as Kai Evans. He'll be disappointed with 1 or 2 that he's missed.
Yeah, he has a couple of missed kicks at goal have potentially starved Wales of the opportunity to really build this lead and get away from Japan, force them into chasing the game. As it is, Japan have always stayed within touching distance.
8 white and 2 white.
They really need a score in the next couple of minutes to set up a grandstand finish. But Wales, at the same time, how much they would love to have that a third try on the board so that they could chase down this bonus point.
So 2 substitutions for Japan. See Yuichiro Taniguchi come on at hooker, and Shota Fukui coming on at 8 for Asipeli Moala. The other lapse in concentration by Wales give Japan the free kick, and they opt for the scrum. Or would you believe it? Well, that ties in 8-9 Welsh players, so it's not a bad decision.
No, it's not, and you can see, you'll be able to see there in the number 13 jersey, Vakalahi it is that's coming in, and essentially I think he'll be saying to his fly half Mamada, give me the ball, let me get us onto the front foot and give us the quick ball that we need to be able to put this Welsh defence, this stubborn Welsh defence, under pressure.
Vakalahi scored a try against Australia, one of 3 tries Japan scored against the Junior Wallabies. Wales just can't cope with that low scrummaging of Japan, and this is what they knew. They couldn't go for the post for that 3-pointer, and couldn't go to touch, so they opted for the opportunity perhaps to gain a penalty, and that's exactly what's happened, and it's taken them back within 5 of the Welsh try line.
The big difference between a free kick and a penalty, you touched on it though, when the body height that this Japanese pack get to, they make up on a deficiency of weight within the pack. They don't have the ability to set high and back themselves, and a heavy pack to be able to drive the opposition off it. As it is, they get their height so low that the opposition have to get down to their height, and Wales have struggled to that.
It's Max Llewellyn who's come on in midfield then for his first taste of senior under-20s rugby, in place of Tian Thomas Wheeler. Usually see a Llewellyn nearer the action in the second row. And Max Llewellyn, well, he's the son
Let's go,
of
Red, please.
former
Let's go.
Wales captain and lock forward Gareth Llewellyn.
Wait. Okay. Not in the air.
So it just goes to show again, in Wales, the apples don't fall far from the tree. Kai Evans, son of Ieuan, now Max, son of Gareth.
Sacking is good.
Sacking is good, says referee Piardi. Ball shielded. They'll have to use it this time. Shoulder on shoulder. Harris does well. The replacement Wales hooker, Fujiwara, snipes at the base, and this is the captain Okayama. Within 5, there's danger here for Wales. 18-10, 7 minutes to go. If Japan can claim a score here, then they will certainly up their game for the last few minutes or so.
Advantage.
Very quickly was the replacement prop forward, but it will be advantage. Japan, number 8, caught offside. That's Tain Basham.
On the line.
An excellent passage of play here by Japan, and of course the mentioned, alluded already to the how technically astute they are.
Let's go.
Here we go. Looks like they're going to go for the tap and go.
I think they have something up their sleeve here.
Time off. Guys. Decision? Okay.
And at last then, Vakalahi gets his hands on the ball. There's the try line. Here comes the big rush from the big centre. Still staying on his feet. Quick ball. That's what Japan wanted. And it's all hands to the pump here for Wales. Wales held New Zealand out for a long period of play. Likewise with Australia. But this really being tested here in their 3rd pool match. And again they come, this time through Yamada, the replacement prop forward. Wales on their toes here and on their heels at the same time. Back virtually on their own try line. 2 scores the difference. 18-10, 6, 7 phases of play, and Japan come again. And every Japanese player is within about 15 metres of that Welsh try line. Everyone wanting a piece of the action here. Hard and low towards the whitewash. Wales again driving hard and low in the tackle. That was Rhys Carey once again. Look at Wales. On their knees, on their toes.
He's short.
Short there, says the referee. Fujiwara
over there.
Leaves it for the big burly forwards. It's tied up under a pile of bodies, but this time the try has come. And it's claimed by the big centre. That is Sueli Vakalahi, if I'm not very, very much mistaken.
There we go, the power play. Japan backed themselves.
Yep.
I think it might have been Siosaya Fifita, possibly. Is he the big left winger?
Okay, guys. HIA 4, number 4.
There he is, diving over. The tackler going low. It was Fifita, I think, coming to his feet, who dives over. And Japan, I tell you what, is the grandstand finish. Everyone here at the Stade Mijoral looked for. Kicked off. We thought they had something up their sleeve from the penalty.
Mori to bring them back within 1 point. And that's exactly what he's done. And my apologies to Mama-san Fifita. Again, there's no way a guy like that should be out on the wing.
Well, I tell you what, when you said it looks like they've got something up their sleeve when there was the tap and go, but that something was Vakalahi, the number 13, tapping and going and just pumping his legs through 3 defenders. 10, 12 phases later, it was his outside back, Fifita, who dived over. And here we go, 3 minutes to go, 1 point in it.
Would you have believed it? And yet, it was always at the back of your mind that Japan could cause an upset. They might well do so. Wales 18, Japan 17. Well, whatever ambitions Wales had of progressing to the semi-finals, had they been able to claim a bonus point, then they would have had to rely on results elsewhere. But so many mistakes, and finding it very difficult to cope with the technically astute Japanese in the set pieces.
It's okay.
Finds them just with 1 point advantage. Rhys Henry loves to have the ball in his hands. The replacement tight head Blacker goes in. That's Jack Pope. Blacker will have a go himself. Loves to snipe around the base, does Blacker. Far too close to call this one, but Wales are in the red zone once again. They need to be accurate here. In goes Rhys Carey. Ball tied up under a pile of bodies. Minute and a half remaining. Harris, the hooker, driving hard and low. Again, it's there, driven forward. 5 meters short. Fry to take it up. The replacement for Gregaines. There is the Japan try line in the background. Nicholas on the inside shoulder. It's Dewi Cross and Combier on the far side. Max Llewellyn waits, wearing 23. He's got Baldwin on his shoulder. It's the forwards that take it up again. 10 phases of play into the final minutes of this pulsating contest. And all credit to Japan. Being promoted from the junior trophy last year to the senior competition at this age group. Tommy Reffel, the captain, organising the attack. And still Japan hold them out. Blacker again at the base. Carey goes to ground. Again, it's slow ball for Blacker. Baldwin out on the right. It was Basham. Arms akimbo, showing a little frustration. Same old story. Wales lose possession, and if Japan can work it clear here, then Wales are in danger. Dewi Cross races back into the full-back position, and Japan launch an attack from deep inside their own 22. We've arrived at 80 minutes, and referee Andrea Piardi blows the final whistle, and Japan can only reflect on what might have been. And there are Welsh bodies, sore bodies, lying down everywhere on the field. And the crowd here at the Stade Amé Giral, well, supporting the underdogs, that's for sure. Japan have come up short, but Wales will not feature in the Cup semi-finals. They've been tested and pushed all the way by Japan. The final score then reads Wales 18, Japan 17. What a fantastic effort that was by young Shinobi Fujiwara, the scrum half. Played the full 80 for Japan. 3 tries they scored to Wales's 2, but didn't quite manage to get a 4th score, a 4th try, which would have given them a second bonus point. 1 bonus point as it is, but Wales claim 4. Promising debut for Tian Thomas-Wheeler at centre for Wales, but they just couldn't get their game going. They couldn't get the set piece, they couldn't get the platform right for the talented Welsh backs to exploit and attack the Japanese defence. Ben Fry there we saw came on late in the first half for Lennon Gregaines. Ieuan Evans can afford a smile, but he knows how close that was. He's been in some close contests himself, the 72 times capped British Lion and Wales international. So we can go down pitch side where Rory Lawson has sprinted down to interview the Welsh captain, Tommy Reffel.
Tommy, the win's the win, but how frustrated are you after that performance?
No, not really frustrated at all. We know Japan will probably have their eyes on us to start the tournament, so to come away with a win is good, but credit to them, they made the scoreline a lot closer than which we wanted it to be.
What were the key areas tonight that weren't quite where you wanted them to be?
I think discipline and also our drive and maul defence, they really got on top of us, credit to them, so just need to probably work on that in training.
And from there on to the round 4 in the tournament, what sort of shape you're in, do you think you're in to be able to drive on in this competition?
Yeah, fair play to the boys. It's the third game in now. A couple of boys have had a lot of playing minutes, so just keep grinding out those games, try and get as many good results as we possibly can.
Tommy, thanks for your time. Good luck in the next round.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Yeah, Tommy Ruffle putting a brave face on it, but there are more games for Wales to come in this tournament. 7th position last season. And the best they can hope for this season, 12 months on, would appear to be 5th position. So we can hear from the Japanese captain. Alongside him is his interpreter. He's speaking again to Rory Lawson.
Hisanobu, you must be incredibly proud of the efforts of your Japanese teammates this evening. Is that a game that got away and you should have won?
今日のパフォーマンスは絶対誇りに思っていると思いますが、勝つはずでしたか？
もう今日はもう絶対に勝って、ウェールズに勝って帰るはず、もう絶対もう勝つっていうことしか思ってなくて試合に挑んだんですけど、まああと一歩及ばず、まあ負けてしまってちょっと本当に悔しいです。
Yeah, so we were coming with the only option to win. We planned to win and move from there. Unfortunately, they couldn't do that, so they're very disappointed.
And what part of tonight's game do you think let you down in the performance? But how much belief does this give you going into round 4 of the Under-20s Championship?
まずはどこで負けたと思いますか？
まあ結果的には負けたんですけど、まあどこで負けたというよりはもうどの場面でも僕らは勝ったと思ってます。
Yeah, so although the score doesn't reflect that we won, we lost by the score. We think we won in all areas, so it really got away from us.
It was an outstanding performance. Well done this evening. Hard lines, but good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Hisanobu Okayama, the Japanese captain, and a noble effort from Japan. He's quite right in what he says, even that they did get the better of Wales, certainly in some of the set pieces and the rolling maul in particular, and they will certainly pose a threat when, as I like to say, water finds its level in this competition, and they'll be up against teams of similar ability. And of course their ambition is to stay in this tournament for another year. So here we are then, confirmation of how things stand at the pool stage after Wales and Japan have completed their efforts. Wales were in second at the moment, Australia of course in third, and their game against New Zealand will come up at 9 o'clock this evening local time. So we'll look forward to that one, the Trans-Tasman clash between the reigning champions New Zealand and their near neighbours Australia. So a great entertaining match here then has finished. Wales 18, Japan running them a very close 1 point, 17 points there total. From everyone here at the start, Aimé Giral, very good evening to you, but come back and join us again for the New Zealand-Australia clash.